What is up, guys? It is your boy NCSO7 here, and welcome to another review video. And today I'm going to be reviewing Puyo Puyo Tetris, the original one. I reviewed the sequel a while ago, which is the one I got first, but now I finally got the original for the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, I finished it, and I'm going to review it for you guys. So let's get straight into this, starting off with, of course, the presentation. Now, as I said before in my Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 review, this is basically just Puyo Puyo and Tetris mixed together in many different ways. That we can get more into in the gameplay segment, but you could essentially play this game as either a Puyo Puyo game or a Tetris game, in theory. Honestly though, the game really isn't that different from Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. In graphically and like style wise, the game looks pretty good. It runs pretty well on the Switch, whether it's docked or in handheld mode. Although I will be honest, the art doesn't look nearly as good as Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, so yeah, but even so, this is one of the earlier games, so that's not necessarily going to be the case. And also, spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of bias in this video, so just know that. Of course, I won't take it too far, though. And let's go straight into the story, which is where my bias comes in. So this game does have an adventure mode, just like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Honestly though, the story really isn't anything that special. Basically, the Puyo world and the Tetris world merge together, and you unmerge them because reasons, I guess. I don't think they ever really explain it in the game. Honestly, the story this time around isn't really that compelling. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 had a lot more to its story. Yes, that one was very similar to this one, but 2 had a lot more to it. There was more of a, I guess, there was more story reason to do it. Even if it was still kind of stupid in the end, at least there was something there. Here, you're kind of just running around doing whatever on these wacky misadventures. And maybe that was the point, but honestly, given how much people did hype up the fact that this was an adventure mode, I mean, it's not bad at all, but it's fine. It's really nothing that special. Honestly, it might come down to the writing not being as good. While there are definitely some standout moments from this game, especially like the Shezos chapter after the game, after the story mode, where he meets up with Sig and all that jazz. That stuff is great, but honestly, the main actual campaign of the game, it wasn't really leaving me with a lot of laughs. Honestly, it's probably partially also because of the voice work. Honestly, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 has better voice work in my opinion, even though I'm pretty sure that they probably had to record their voice lines in a closet. Even so, I still think that that game had better voice work, which again does make some sense, but characters like Ringo here just sound so muted, and personally, they just sound kind of off. I don't know. There's something about it, and some characters just don't stick around for very long. Characters like Witch and Draco Centauros are just there for like 1 second in the story, and they just leave. They don't even have really a story reason. At least in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, there's more to it. Alright, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to tell me to stop whining and stop being a biased person, but I'm sorry, I can't help it with this one. These two games are so similar that it's honestly hard to. Honestly, but going back to the story mode, it's not bad at all. It's fine, but honestly, it definitely was a lot more hyped up than it really should have been. It's cool that it has an adventure mode and whatnot, as it does give you a single player campaign, but that's really all it does. If you're looking for a really deep story or anything like that, nah, not really. Not that I really want a deep story, but even just more story, or at least an overall plot, would be really nice in my opinion, which is what Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 did. So, yeah. But finally, let's stop talking about the story. Gameplay. How is the gameplay? Well, not really much to say. Like I said before, though, it's basically Puyo Puyo and Tetris mixed together. Sometimes this can be where they swap around, such as Puyo Puyo and Tetris, where you can play in swap mode, where they switch around. Or you can just choose to play Puyo Puyo and the CPU can play Tetris, that works. Both game modes work together. You could potentially be a lunatic and play Infusion, which mixes both Puyo's and Tetris blocks together. Not very fun. There's also Big Bang, which is basically where you fill out these presets of chains or blocks and whatnot. Honestly, it's a good mode to zone out to. If you're just kind of bored and want to waste like 30 minutes, take a look at this one, crank it on endurance, and there you go. You'll never stop playing. And there's also some other stuff as well, but that's all I'll really say here. There's also, of course, the online mode as well, which is cool. Granted, I haven't actually tried it because I don't have Switch Online, because screw Switch Online, but I'm certain it works fine. Honestly, the gameplay here is basically just Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 again. I know. And control-wise, the game controls completely fine. And content. Now, the game cost me $20. Honestly, it's completely deserving of the price. The game has plenty of content. Even after you finish the story mode, you get a lot of chapters afterwards. And there's just a lot of fun stuff you can do in the game. It's really, it's a puzzle game, so you can play it forever, basically. So, yeah, content-wise, it's completely fine. And the music is actually not bad. Honestly, it is definitely debatable whether this game has a better soundtrack than Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. And it is definitely debatable because I do like a lot of the music in this game. Although, I don't know. I do like the battle theme more in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I like that one more. But the one in Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 actually is pretty damn good at the same time. But soundtrack-wise, it's very good. And now on to the final thoughts. Now, I know that in this review I've been very biased, and let me explain why. See, I did have Puyo Puyo Tetris on my Switch ever since, like, the demo came out. But the thing is, the only thing I did have was said demo. I had that demo ever since it released in, like, April of 2017. It was right before a trip, and I didn't have that many Switch games, and I downloaded the demo of the game because I thought, it'd be cool. And I didn't really touch the game ever again until I was looking for PS5 games to get and saw Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, so I decided that I would get that because that seemed fun. And that game blew me away with how phenomenal it was. By the way, check out that review, that's very good too. And I knew that this game was definitely going to be a lesser version, and don't get me wrong, this game is nowhere near bad, but it's basically just an inferior version of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. It's kind of like owning two versions of a DVD with one version of like the specific... Yeah, that's not a good way of saying it. Basically, like owning two DVDs of the same movie, but one version doesn't take anything away from the other DVD and has extra content. At that point, what's the point of owning the original one, as it doesn't have that extra content? That's kind of the situation it is here. And honestly, this game still has a lot of quality, but it's definitely kind of irrelevant now given Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. And honestly, that game just does a lot of things better. The voice works better, the story mode's better. Heck, the adventure mode is a lot better in my opinion just because of the fact that it's not in a straight line. It feels more like an actual adventure because you're moving around on a world map, not just selecting a level from a list of levels. The art's also much better, and it's just more fun to play. And maybe it's just because I spent more money on that, I don't know. But even so though, Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 is still pretty decent. So for my score, I'm going to give the game a solid 7.5 out of 10. There's really nothing that bad about this game, gameplay-wise. I will say this game doesn't have skill battles, so that is one plus this game has, so yeah. But honestly though, would I recommend playing this game? Honestly, if you're curious about it and want to kill an afternoon, go for it. Otherwise, just play Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. That game's on everything, and it's just much better. Also, it has way more characters as well, so, yeah. But anyways, I'm going to stop whining because even though I have been being very biased in this video, I'm still gonna probably play it since it's on the Switch, and I don't feel like buying the same game I already have on PS5 on my Switch. So, yeah. Overall, the game's still really good, though. Please don't take it the wrong way. But with that being said, let me know what you guys thought of this review. Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to see more Puyo Puyo stuff on this channel, like, at all, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like, and comment below if you agree with me or not. But with that being said, this is NCSO7, signing out. Peace!